Coming up next on AMSOIL Championship Snocross, powered by Ram. The boss is back. Ross the Boss Martin returns to the top of the box. Can the boss continue his winning ways tonight? Find out as the world's greatest snowcross racers are ready to go green on an extreme track at Route 66 Raceway in Chicago. A breathtaking view of the beautiful city of Chicago, site for round 14 of AMSOIL Championship Snocross, powered by Ram. The Hollywood Casino Snocross National, presented by Hayes Performance Systems here at Route 66 Raceway, actually just outside of Chicago in Joliet. Carly Applin, Mike Schroeder, my name is Chris Hockey, bringing you all the coverage from AMSOIL Championship Snocross all season long. Mike, it's been a great season so far, and round 13 was no different here in Chicago. Let's take a look at what happened in AMSOIL Pro Open. And they're racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go. And Kyle Pauline got the step boy hole shot. Ross Martin out of nowhere to the lead over the AMSOIL finish line. And he will take that first lap to the inside. Can't make the move. Now he goes to the outside. It's Ross Martin and Corin Todd for the battle. The laps continue to wind away. 17 to go. Now out of the corner. 16 to go for your leader. We've seen him in worse spots, but right now Tucker Hibbert's got a lot of room to make up for this win. Right now, he's just thinking about making it around Tim Tremblay, who's been fast all night. It didn't take him long. He went from 5th to 3rd in less than half of a straightaway. Over the AMSOIL finish line with 14 laps to go. 9 laps to go. The lead is still Martin, but here comes the T-Train. It's a drag race. Big air. Hibbert outside.
Oh, he's going to go.
Tucker's off his sled.
Oh,
another opportunity for your leader. It's Ross Martin with 4 laps to go here in Chicago, and he's got the lead. It doesn't get any bigger than this.
The boss is back.
Ross Martin wins in Chicago. Mike, you said it, the boss was back. What a fun night in round 13. Here are the Pro Open point standings.
Tightened up a little bit. Tucker Hibbert's still way out in front, but you know, you look at 2 through 5, even 6 and 7. That's some great battles there, and it's going to be interesting to see as they go through round 14 and into our last event how they can do in their point standing.
He's not in the top 10 because of injury, but our winner, Ross Martin, is with Carly Applin.
I'm with Ross Martin. A huge win for you. It's been a long time since you've been first on the box, and you were very open about the 2 old comments, the 2 injured comments. How do you feel when you hear that?
It's definitely, it feels good to be back up on top. It's kind of one of those things that always goes through your mind, like, am I too old? Getting hurt's always a bummer, no matter how old you are, but it's kind of one of those things that I almost had a feeling that the season was going to pass without standing back up on the top. So it was, to get that out of the way, I think will make the next 3 races a lot easier.
Good luck tonight.
Thanks a lot.
One of the truly good guys of our sport. Love to see Ross Martin doing well. Talking about age, though, I'll tell you who's definitely not too old. The Pro Light division. The action is always intense. Let's take a look at what happened in round 13. And they're racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go, and Elias Ischel loses the lead in the turn.
Oh, and he gets together.
But we've got a brand new leader, Montana Jess, is your points leader, and he's your leader in Chicago. And now Elias Ischel tries to reel in your leader, Montana Jess. Look at that. He reeled him all the way in. Looks to the lead, does Ischel, as they head down the backstretch. So now they're back under power, and Ischel will take the lead. But they're going to give the lead back to Jess.
Did you see?
I saw the Iceman.
He pointed the black flag at him to go back.
So Ischel will drop back 2 spots for passing under a yellow flag. And he's got a solid, comfortable lead as he comes out of the rhythm section for just a second.
Oh, and he goes big there.
Because suddenly there's Ischel again. The rocket has lit the engine. He's got 3 laps to go. He looks to the inside of the leader. Montana said, "Where'd you come from?" They drag race towards the AMSOIL finish line. 2 laps to go, Mike. Adjusts his line to the inside, takes the move.
Got the run.
He got the lead. Can he keep it? Through all the confusion, through the black flag, and through the field to the front. Headed for the AMSOIL finish line, the flames in the air. Elias Ischel has won in Chicago. Does he bring the excitement or what, Mike?
all of these guys that are in this points battle bring excitement to this class. That's why it's so much fun to watch the Pro Light class. There you see Montana Jess still out in front, doing what we've said time and time and time again, just being consistent. Shuffle it around a little bit. Elias Seasholt, man, does he make it exciting.
So now you're all caught up with what happened in the first 13 rounds. Let's get 14 started. Right after this, it's a Pro Open qualifier from just outside of Chicago. It's AMSOIL Championship Snocross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network.
AMSOIL Championship Snocross on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Ram. Guts, glory, Ram. By GoPro. Be a hero. And by Arctic Cat. Share our passion.
There's an old saying, food is love. If that's the case, then at an ice hockey race, there's plenty of passion in the pits.
Food is love. Everyone eats well.
Some teams grill manly meats over an open flame fit for the Flintstones. Others sport variations on crock-pot cuisine.
Barbecue wing.
Also fueling the world's greatest snowcross racers, a healthy mix of food on the go.
I'm starving now. Welcome back, Carly Ablett, Mike Schroeder, Chris Hockey. Mike, it's a great racetrack here in Chicago. AMSOIL Championship Snocross powered by Ram. Let's take a GoPro lap of the day.
Changed a little bit between round 13 and 14. Here is that GoPro lap of the day. A start again into that tight transition area into the back part of the racetrack. And this thing is just a minefield. Watch these guys as they go through here, just casing it, slamming it, and banging it through the back part of the racetrack. Then they'll go into turns 3 and 4. Some guys like to go high, some guys kind of skating down below and squaring away. Here's the AMSOIL finish line. You go big. Now here you can go triple or double. Here's a double. They're going double through here, but some of the pro drivers going triple through. You go back into turns 1 and 2, and that is a GoPro lap of the day.
37 degrees, the wind's blowing, but the snow's pretty good here in Chicago this afternoon. Here is a list of the injuries, and it's pretty lengthy, Mike.
Yeah, it is, and we've talked about it before. Cody Cam, Cody Thompson, Logan Christian, the latest to be added with that elbow injury that he suffered in Michigan. So you see the people that are injured. It's been a tough year for Pro Open riders.
We still got some great ones, and this Pro Open qualifier is stacked with them.
Yeah, take a look at it. You got Lemieux and watching through there, Ryan Springer, Watkinson. It's going to be a fun one to watch.
And they're racing. The 13 of Lincoln Lemieux got that stud boy hole shot, but he gave up the lead.
Todd just launches out there again. Lemieux with the hole shot. But then Corin Todd finding another gear and out front he
Stenberg right there
goes.
too. Look at John Stenberg into second all of a sudden, Mike.
So set the order. Corin Todd, John Stenberg, Lincoln Lemieux, Narsa in 4th. Then it's Springer, Watkinson, Carlson, and Andy Leaders.
And they are bunched up as Lemieux makes a bonsai move into second spot right there. He got a yellow flag right in there somewhere. Couple of sleds off. And back to power they go. And Lemieux into second momentarily, but the battle is on as Corin Todd is on a rail. Second place in round 13. Right now he's setting the pace in this Pro Open qualifier. Wow, what a drag race on the drag strip that was.
It was interesting when they came through that ram turn, and we watch them again as they come down here. Stenberg was really making up some ground on second place. Lincoln Lemieux wanted to try a line, but almost rear-ended him. He took his line away, and that kind of dead sticked Lemieux in his battle going forward, or rather Stenberg in his battle going forward.
That's my favorite camera shot of the night, and we're seeing Peter Narsa trying to take that spot from Stenberg. That is the battle for third on your screen right now.
That's Stenberg.
There's Narsa right on his tail.
Narsa sitting in 4th, about a half a second behind.
There's Corey Watkinson and Ryan Springer right behind him.
John Stenberg.
And there is your leader. That's Corin Todd.
About a 1.6 second lead over Lincoln Lemieux. You can see Lemieux there just coming into the frame shot.
The pride of Otsego, New York. Corin Todd on that 36.
Kicks up into the corner, goes as deep as he can to try to catch that rail as much as he can.
Carly Applin down by the racetrack. Hi, Carly.
Guys, Kyle Pauline told me that sometimes slower is faster in these whoop sections. There's not a lot of space in between each jump. He said the sled's about 10 feet long. These in-between sections are about 12 feet. So if you go 1 foot over, you're already into the next whoop. If you go 1 foot short, then you have the possibility of casing it. No room for error in these rhythm sections.
That's so true, and we just saw that with John Stenberg, who's off his sled right in the middle of that rhythm section. There's your leader, the 36, Corin Todd. The lead is 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, Stenberg was sitting in third place, was charging hard for second. Going to fall way back to at least sixth place, depending upon whether or not Carlson get by him. Tough break for the driver out of Norway.
Again in round 13 at this same racetrack, Corin Todd was able to find his way to second spot and on the podium. And here he is in the Pro Open qualifier, and he is on fire. A 3-second lead over Lincoln Lemieux and Peter Narsa, who are second and third right now. 5 laps to go in this Pro Open qualifier.
You talk about this new Axis chassis. Corin really likes this because you're able to get your weight so far forward, and on a track like this where you've got flatter turns, that's very important to get that weight up front, off over the edge. You have to use less energy because of the geometrics of the sled. Just lets you move from a stand-up position to getting that weight out over the sled much easier. It shows right here.
Through the rhythm section again. He'll come around. He hits that Amsoil finish line. It'll be 3 laps to go for Corin Todd. There's your second place rider. That's Lincoln Lemieux. Both these guys, Corin Todd, Lincoln Lemieux, kind of a coming out season for these guys. Both of these guys have been fast all year long, dealt with their own injuries, except for Lincoln, who's been really strong all season. But we're seeing the birth of 2 young superstars, aren't we?
Yeah, Lincoln has been by far, a bit stronger of the two, but Corin Todd has had some great moments too. Looking strong here tonight. Down into the corner.
There's your leader, yeah.
Starting to click down laps, 2 to go.
Lincoln Lemieux, the 13. Just under 2 laps to go. There's your leader. Out of the ram turn, white flag awaits.
He's got quite a substantial lead now, almost 5 seconds.
There's Narsa. He's currently in third, and right behind him, Corey Watkinson, who's having a good night as well.
Yeah, Corey took a big face to roost there. Able to work the outside line, trying to make up a little more ground, trying to get around Peter Narsa. Up front, though, Lemieux, or rather Corin Todd, sitting with about a 5.5 second lead over your second place sled of Lincoln Lemieux.
Into the ram turn for the final time, heading for the checkers. And Corin Todd will take this Pro Open qualifier here in Chicago. Lincoln Lemieux will come across in second, about 4.5 seconds back. Peter Narsa holds on for third, Corey Watkinson in fourth, Ryan Springer in fifth. We'll break and come right back and talk to our winner, Corin Todd. This is Amsoil Championship Snocross, powered by Ram from just outside Chicago. And racing. The 13 of Lincoln Lemieux got that stud boy hole shot, but he gave up the lead. But the battle is on as Corin Todd is on a rail. And here he is in the Pro Open qualifier, and he is on fire. Into the ram turn for the final time, heading for the checkers. And Corin Todd will take this Pro Open qualifier here in Chicago.
Congratulations, Corin Todd. You said your goal was to improve in the qualifiers, and it looks like you did that.
Yeah, I cleaned it up, got a great start. The guys back in the trailer made some great changes today, and my sled's ripping off the line, and, kudos to them. That makes my job a lot easier.
Congratulations on the win. Good luck in the final.
Thank you.
Great way to start round 14 here in Chicago, Mike.
Corn Todd, big win in this heat. Lincoln Lemieux running well. There you see the way they finished. Be interesting to see how they qualify for the final.
We got a final coming up next, but before we do that, you can always keep up with us on your favorite social media like Twitter, @Snocross. What a great shot submitted by Brian Eberly. We'd love to see yours as well, like this one right here from Route 66 Raceway. Again, it's @Snocross, Facebook, Twitter. What do you got? We want to see it. Great run for a great young racer who did make the podium in round 13. Can he do it tonight? We're about to find out, but the Pro Light Final is next from Route 66 Raceway. This is AMSOIL Championship Snocross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network. A beautiful evening in Chicago, but every evening is beautiful for AMSOIL Championship Snocross powered by Ram. It's round 14, the Hollywood Casino Snocross National, presented by Hayes Performance Systems here at Route 66 Raceway. Carly Applin, Mike Schroeder, my name is Chris Hockey. The Pro Light Final is about to take place. Let's meet one of the stars of that class. His name, the Rocket, Elias Ishoel.
He came to America as a 16-year-old who loved cheeseburgers.
Have a good cheeseburger in US.
They are delicious, I'll give you that.
But in just 2 seasons, the teenager from Norway and his need for speed have become a part of Snocross lore. The flames await the Rocket! Elias Ishoel has won in Mount Pleasant, Michigan.
He pushes harder than probably any of us out there. That's just what makes him faster, is how hard he pushes.
I try the best every week and then race my best. And I was injured the first week and I couldn't ride my snowmobile before Christmas, almost nothing. And I haven't had so much training this year, and I begin to race my snowmobile more and more, and then I feel more comfortable, and now I feel ready to race.
Elias Ishoel has accomplished all this with the support from Warner Racing and his parents, who are always by his side.
Because racing is so much bigger here in the US and you can live off it, and in Norway it's so much smaller, and yeah, it's because of that it's cool to be here and race with the big guys.
What a joy it's been to watch him come of age in this class. We're about to see him try to do it again. Here's the Pro Light Final lineup, Mike.
Montana Jess, your points leader, qualifies number 1, and all of those guys that are up towards the front, Angove, you see Muller, Ty Fair. Look at Ishoel, though. Did not have a good round 1 qualifying. Qualifies 8th. Let's see what he can do here in round 14.
Here's your back row.
Corbin Anderson, Glashagel, of course, Blanchard, Ian Buckman. This is his first Pro Light Final, and Turchanik are the back row.
And we're in Buckman's hometown, as is Carly Applin, who's down at the starting line.
Hey Chris, Montana Jess qualifying number 1 again. He's managing to take first in his qualifiers. However, he's still chasing a first on the podium in the finals. I asked him point blank, will it tarnish your championship win if you manage to pull a championship this year if you don't get a first on the podium? He said absolutely not. At the first part of the year, he said he really wanted that first on the podium. He said now he just wants to stay consistent, get up on the box, and take home that point.
15 sleds ready to go green in Chicago. It's in the starters' hands. They're racing in Chicago into turn 1.
Jake Angove on the inside. Is that Coutu that's going with him? No, Travis Muller.
I'll go Travis Muller with the stud boy hole shot, and he's out front battling with Angove.
Angove works his way a little further out in front. Jake Angove, watch him now as they come back down across the finish line. It's Angove, Muller, and Elias Ishoel sitting in third.
Muller's going to take the lead on the inside. Can he hang on to it as they make their way into the turn?
Remember, they just groomed.
Oh, great move, Angove.
Yeah, he couldn't make the turn. He got too deep. Gets in the soft snow. That's where you really got to muscle it around. Jake able to move it around a little bit more inside, takes the lead.
We'll set the field for you in a moment, but they're making their way down the backstretch, and here comes Montana Jess. Out of the turn, over the AMSOIL finish line. It's Angove, Muller, Jess, Coutu, and Ishoel.
Ishoel fell back a couple of spots. He was up in third place, now sitting in 5th.
Oh!
So something happened to him.
Did you see Muller and Jess get together right there, Mike? Somehow, Muller held onto his sled after a bonsai move, but it slowed them both down. And Jake Angove really got away from him, and he comes out of the ram turn towards the AMSOIL finish line. We'll set the field for you again.
Now watch as he comes across here, and watch this black sled on the inside. He has hit the button, and here he goes. Angove, Jess, Eschel now in third. Coutu, Travis Muller, Michael George. Those are your top three.
Smooth and fast. And out front is Angove. You could say the same for the 200 of the Rocket. We'll call him the Viking Rocket. Elliot Ischel right there now in third and trying to hold off Cole Coutu as he tries to make his way forward.
Just finding lines. He looks like he's been patient so far. There's 10 laps left to go. Through the corner.
Heavy roost right there.
Boy, we actually put a GoPro on him for this race. It's going to be fun to watch that video. Through the back portion of the racetrack.
And here comes Muller behind him again.
And look at, he's right behind Montana Jess. He's getting ready to try to move into second place.
Inside look for the Rocket. Can he make the move stick after this section? He can. Jess to the inside, stays on the sled.
Boy, Jess, I thought was going to make contact with him, and that would have been detrimental to Montana Jess. It probably would have thrown him off his sled. Elias, I think, was further enough ahead where it wouldn't have affected him, but Montana may have had some consequences of that contact.
Things are about to get interesting, Mike. Jake Angove with a 2-second lead on the Rocket. Elias Ischel. But there's 8 laps to go, and there's almost no one faster than Elias Ischel right there. So Angove, Ischel, and Jess, the Viking is in hot pursuit. Again,
he is in the back part of the racetrack. That's not as much 2 seconds. It is, he is really reeled in.
Oh,
Jake Angove.
Less than a second now.
Oh, somebody having a problem on the outside, telling him to go inside. Good move by a racer there.
And now the race is really starting to heat up.
Yeah, the Rocket has found his groove. He's really starting to reel in Jake Angove, just setting him up, waiting for where Angove may go, seeing what lines are working, what are not. He's really tried to cut hard down back underneath. There he tries it there, but he's not in a position to do so as of yet. Now he's inside, going back down the front part of the racetrack. Let's see what happens on the far end.
The Rocket has position, but he can't make the move there. Let's see it again. We're seeing some patience out of the 17-year-old from Norway.
And he squared up big time, too, and just whipped that sled around that corner. On the outside, back down into the ramp corner. Oh, Elias just strong, trying to go down underneath. Nope, not close enough.
But look at Jake Angove holding him off lap after lap. You can't say it enough on that either. Great run for Angove, but can he keep it in front of Elias Ischel?
Yeah, some lappers coming into play here very shortly. They just got around Grant Glashagel back in 12th. Look at Angove just really trying everything to get around him.
Great race into the turn. Ischel has to make the outside in move. Going to try to square it up right here. And the lead stays with Angove as we go down to Carly Applin.
Elias Ischel said he's using these races during the season as his training. He came into the season with an injury and he was out for part of the season. So he's again trying to make up those points and use these races as part of his training. He said that's why the last half of his season has been so much more dominant. We'll see if he can pull off the first tonight.
Well, he's running out of time. 3.5 laps to go, Carly. And Jake Angove is doing all he can to hold off the Viking, the Rocket, Elias Ischel. They head for the AMSOIL finish line. 3 laps to go.
Boy, eats roost all the way around that corner. Comes across the AMSOIL finish line. He goes outside, trying to find and duck down underneath.
He got underneath him. Now they drag race at the drag strip.
Oh, he had a great power move.
What a move from the Rocket. He used that lapper and got around him.
He never touched him. That was just a picture-perfect move. We talk about patience. And now I'm more of a believer that he really does have some patience on the racetrack.
Let's look at how he did this, Mike. Oh, great move, powered in the right spot, and found his way to the front with less than 2 laps to go.
Angove came up behind the lapper. He seen that was going to happen, ducked down underneath, then swooped back outside, made the pass. That was sweet.
So now it's Ischel, Angove, and Coutu as he got around Montana Jess.
Yeah, you know, Coutu was sitting there in 3rd place. He was about 1/10 of a second behind. 3rd place, Montana Jess made the made the pass. This could be a huge podium for the rookie Pro Light rider.
So here he comes out of that final turn, through the Air Force flyaway and down the backstretch for the final time. Can he hold on to it for a half a lap more, Mike?
He's got 2.5 second lead.
Into the ram turn. The checkers await. The Rocket, Elias Ishul, wins in Chicago. Jake Angove will hold on for second. And out of the corner for the final time, Cole Coutu crosses the checkers, and he'll take third. Another big win for the 17-year-old phenom. And we'll talk to him right after a short break. This is AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram from Chicago, Illinois, on the CBS Sports Network. Racing in Chicago into turn one.
Jake Angove.
Oh, great move, Angove.
Yeah, he couldn't make the turn. He got too deep. Gets in the soft snow. That's where you really got to muscle it around.
Rocket has position, but he can't make the move there. Let's see it again. We're seeing some patience out of the 17-year-old from Norway. Holding him off lap after lap. You can't say it enough on that either. Great run for Angove, but can he keep it in front of Elias Ishul? Great race into the turn. Ishul has to make the outside in move. Going to try to square it up right here.
It's outside. Trying to find and duck down underneath.
He got underneath them. Now they drag race at the drag strip.
Oh, he had a great power move.
Into the ram turn. The checkers await. The Rocket, Elias Ishul, wins in Chicago.
Congratulations, Elias. You had a beautiful move in a very tough corner. Talk about the advantage you had on Jake Angove as you went into that corner.
Yeah, he's a good rider. It was difficult to find good lines and pass him, but I just tried to be behind him and wait for something can happen. And I find a good line inside in this corner. I could pass him, and yeah, it was hard to see out there because the snow is so wet also, so it's stuck on the googles.
As you continue to dominate in the Pro Light class, I have to ask, have you thought about the Pro Open class?
I'm not sure yet.
Gonna wait and think on that for a bit?
Yep.
Congratulations on the first.
Thank you.
Another great run from Elias Ishul, Mike.
Big win. Man, I'll tell you what, he was patient. He's proving to me more and more that he's really getting what it takes to be a superstar in this Pro Light class. Jake Angove second. Nice win or podium finish for Cole Coutu, ending up third. That's huge for the rookie here in the Pro Light class.
Not a great night for Montana Jess. Here's how the points look now. Well, he continues to impress. He is Elias Ishul, and he won in Chicago.
AMSOIL Championship Snowcross on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Polaris, Terrain Domination, by FXR, world-class outwear, and by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics.
Things don't get much bigger than they do here in Chicago. It's round 14 of AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, powered by Ram, and that's the site for the Hollywood Casino Snowcross National, presented by Hayes Performance Systems, Route 66 Raceway. Mike Schroeder, Chris Hockey, Carly Applin bringing you coverage of a great race all evening long. It's been a great weekend, and we're about to get serious with AMSOIL Pro Open. But before we do that, let's meet one of the best mechanics in our sport.
At the pits, inside the $1 million rigs, some of the world's best mechanics tune, torque, and tweak the latest in snowmobile technology.
Oh, this one, the animal. It'll rip anything off. It's awesome.
For more than 2 decades, one of the top techs in the industry has been a woman. Betsy Halderson has helped keep Christian Brothers Racing on top of the box.
You are the only female mechanic out here on the track. A little bit groundbreaking, but you've been around for so long. This is all just old hat to you.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time. I just kind of grew up around mechanical stuff, and my folks always had sleds and stuff. It's fun. The people working with, they're amazing. And everything's like a big family, so you can't ask for nothing more. So.
She's fantastic, and I'll tell you what, this race is going to be awesome. Mike, here's your starting lineup.
Tremblay and Lemieux, teammates, qualifying 1 and 2. Problem is they're going to have the 8 and 9 pick on the front row. Look at Tucker Hibbert, the number 9 qualifier. He'll get first gate pick. Going to be interesting to see how they line up and how they finish.
Here's your back row. Down at the Hayes Performance starting line is Carly Applin.
Joining me on the start line, Logan Christian. Unfortunately, you're injured right now, out for this season, but giving us some insight into the pick on the start line, how important it is to have the right start. So tell us where you would want to line up on the start line.
Yeah, just looking here, Tucker, Kyle, and Corey Watkinson all have really good gate picks. You kind of want to be those first three, especially on a track like this. The start line's a little bit shorter, so being closer to the start on the inside is very important. You kind of control the corner and are able to kind of push wide if you had to, if somebody else, and even that back row, those first couple guys in the back row can sneak under when everybody else in that front row pushes off. So that inside and the front row is very important, I think.
Always about the whole shot, right?
Yeah, big time.
Back to you guys as we get ready to go green.
It's about to go green in Chicago. They are on the Hayes Performance System starting line. It's in the starter's hands. 15 sleds ready to go. Racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go, and Corin Todd gets that stud boy hole shot.
Hibbert got buried back in the pack a bit.
Now he's in the lead.
Yeah, and then he shot right through.
Where did that come from?
I'll tell you what, he looked like he was going to be back about third, fourth, or fifth. Just found a hole shot, and away he went.
Looked like he just somehow benefited from having that inside starting line there, and he is gone. Tucker Hibbert out front. Here comes Ross Martin in second, Corin Todd in third.
Taking a look at the rest of the field as they work their way around. It will be the sled of Narsa in fourth, Tremblay, then Lincoln Lemieux. Those are your top six. There is Hibbert, works his way across for the first lap. He's your leader.
Tucker Hibbert, Ross Martin, Corin Todd, 1, 2, 3, then Peter Narsa and Tim Tremblay, with Lincoln Lemieux, Corey Watson, Kyle Pauline, and Adam Rinheim finishing out the top 9.
I did not think that he was going to be able to work his way through. There you see Ross Martin sitting in second place, already about 1.8 seconds behind your race leader. This is what Tucker likes to do, get out front. He's got good visibility. He's going to end up running into lappers here at some point during this race. Hopefully the rest of these drivers can use it to their advantage. But boy, did he find a line to get out front.
He sure did, and I'll tell you what, not so much good fortune early in the night. He had a problem in his first qualifier. The second one, he got second. That sets him up for a great starting spot, and he got out, and he is gone. There's Ross Martin, and that is your battle for third right there.
Let's remember that Tucker Hibbert, though, we've talked about how gnarly this track is, that Tucker Hibbert has had an occasion where he's offloaded. Not very often do we see it, but this is the kind of track that could jump up and bite him on the back part of the racetrack.
You're watching the battle between Corin Todd and Peter Narsa, the battle for third. Narsa to the inside. Can't make the move there. Corin Todd on the 36 continues to run third. Here comes Narsa. Into the turn they go. Oh, Narsa really squirrely there and lost some serious space to Corin Todd.
Yeah, he's lucky he was able to gather that up. Continue on. Hibbert goes across. He's still out in front. Martin, Corin Todd, Narsa still in fourth. There is your race leader, now with about a 5-second lead over this field. Running a 27 flat lap time. Oh, I tell you what, he is on a tear. He's had the fastest lap so far, 26.7.
Wow.
He's not slowing down.
Nobody ran a 26 all night until Tucker Hibbert did it here in the final. What a run from the 9-time champion here in this final. That's Tim Tremblay, and he got around Peter Narsa.
Right, so he's sitting in fourth place trying to take a run at Corin Todd to get on the podium. And his teammate, they've kind of ran, close to each other all weekend. Lincoln Lemieux sitting in seventh.
You see Tim Tremblay and Peter Narsa right there. And Kyle Pauline trying to work his way towards the podium as well. He's in fifth.
Lights his goggles, took a big face of roost there. We talked about the snow being wet. It is collecting on the goggles, not as bad as some tracks we've been at. Ooh, and a driver off down in the corner, and I wonder who that was.
I'm not sure.
Oh,
that's Corin Todd.
Corin Todd was sitting in third place down right in front of Carly.
I saw Carly for a second. That literally happened right behind her. Let's find out what she saw. Carly.
Guys, it was Corin Todd that came off the sled in this corner. Again, this corner is proving to be one of the most difficult parts of the track. It's a flat corner, so riders are losing their momentum as they come around here. The snow is so wet, so sticky tonight that it's so easy for them to lose momentum. Back to you guys in the booth.
He was so angry at himself. He pounded the snow when he hit the ground there.
Well, that allowed Tremblay to move up into third place, so it's still Hibbert out in front. Hibbert now with a 7-second lead over Ross Martin. Then it's Tremblay, Darson fourth.
And there he is, the 9-time champion. Way out front is Tucker Hibbert. Coming out of that ram turn, over the AMSOIL finish line. 10 laps to go for Tucker Hibbert.
Halfway through, we talked about lappers. That's what's going to happen here very shortly. He's got a bunch of traffic ahead of him. Unfortunately, Ross Martin not close enough that he's going to be able to capitalize on any problem that Tucker has trying to get around those lappers.
As we continue to watch this, what's about to happen behind him is Tim Tremblay is starting to reel in Ross Martin. Those two have been battling forever, and the lead is now only 3 seconds, the differential, I should say, between Ross Martin and Tim Tremblay. And Tim has been so fast at this racetrack today. We'll see if he's got the time. He's certainly got the laps to reel in Ross Martin.
Tucker's still the fastest sled on the racetrack. Ran a 27.9 that last lap, still putting more distance between he and the field.
Out of the turn, over the AMSOIL finish line, 8 laps to go for the T-Train. Just so smooth, and there is the battle for 4th between Kyle Pauline and Adam Renheim. The battle for 5th, actually, right there, between Pauline and Renheim. The Jimmy John sled trying to find a way around Kyle Pauline.
Pauline staying inside. Renheim tried to work the outside around that last lap. There's a yellow flag down in that corner. They're going to have to check up.
That cost him some time.
Yeah,
he's back on the gas. Senior Smiley trying to stay top 5.
And that looked like that worked better for him also, as Renheim struggling now to try to get around a lapper and stay close and in contact with Kyle Pauline for that 5th position.
And Lincoln Lemieux is about to start the battle with Renheim for 6th. But back up front, there he is, the T-Train. Gets around Ryan Springer. Another lap in the books. 6 laps to go for Tucker Hibbert. There's Tim Tremblay. It's less than a half a second now between he and Ross Martin. The battle for 2nd is about to begin, Mike.
And we've seen this battle many times, even tonight in one of the qualifiers. Those two went bar to bar a little bit. There you see him going huge. That is Martin, and right behind him, the big Canadian, Tremblay, trying to come back down underneath. Martin still out in front.
2 former champions about to begin battling for 2nd. Tremblay to the outside. He checks up really hard right there, Mike.
You know, and Ross has been able to put a little more distance between the two. I'm
yeah, it was
not
a
sure.
hard landing right there for
He
Tremblay.
had that hard landing. That's not going to help him at all. It was about 9/10 of a second. The lap before, Martin doubled that. Now we'll see what happens as Tremblay had the issue, and we'll come around the racetrack once again.
Peter Narsa had an issue as well somewhere on the racetrack. He's dropping back, putting Pauline into 4th place.
Well, and yellow going to fly here. Watch everybody
you'll
check
see
up
him in a
huge.
second.
Right in the middle of the racetrack, too.
So now Tremblay again reels in Ross Martin a bit, and we've got 4 laps to go.
That was Narsa that had the problem in the corner, back underway. Yeah, that's going to drop him way back in the standings.
You're watching Tim Tremblay. He's in 3rd. Right in front of him, Ross Martin, just off your screen in 2nd.
About a second between those two.
Another hard check for Tim Tremblay as he's trying so hard to reel him in. He's not holding on to his rhythm in that section.
Yeah, look at Martin. Martin goes up. This is how he's done that corner all weekend long before the AMSOIL finish line. Squares and then shoots down inside. Tremblay's still there.
And there is the T-Train. The lead is almost 11 seconds for Tucker Hibbert. He's into the ram turn. He'll get the sign that he's got 2 laps to go when he crosses the AMSOIL finish line. There's the AMSOIL sled of Tim Tremblay. There's Tucker again. Through the Air Force flyaway.
And just a mammoth lead here over Ross Martin and the rest of the field, 11 seconds.
Watch how smooth he is through a very technical part of the racetrack. Look at this battle continuing. That's Kyle Pauline.
Lincoln Lemieux right behind him.
And Rinheim got around Pauline. So that puts Rinheim in the 4th and Pauline in the 5th.
I'll tell you what, 4th, 5th, and 6th, they're all within about a second of each other.
Oh, Pauline! Off his sled almost. Somehow he saves it. As we've got the white flag for Tucker Hibbert. And there he is, inside of Pauline.
You know, the big question last night was, what's Tucker Hibbert going to do tonight? Well, he's just about ready to show you.
Flames in the air, and Tucker Hibbert has won in Chicago. A dominant performance for the T-Train. Ross Martin over the Amsoil finish line. He'll take 2nd. Tim Tremblay will hold on for 3rd in the final spot on the podium. We'll break, and we'll come back to talk to the 9-time champion. Tucker Hibbert wins Chicago. We'll find out how he did it after this. It's Amsoil Championship Snowcross powered by Ram on the CBS Sports Network. And racing in Chicago. Into the turn they go, and Corin Todd gets that stud boy hole shot. Looked like he just somehow benefited from having that inside starting line there, and he is gone. What a run from the 9-time champion here in this final. Flames in the air, and Tucker Hibbert has won in Chicago. A dominant performance for the T-Train.
Congratulations, Tucker Hibbert. Some rough qualifiers for you tonight, but you came into that final and you found your rhythm.
Yeah, it was a good main event for sure. I was struggling through qualifying. I actually wasn't struggling. I got tangled up in that first one and just couldn't do anything. So I fought real hard, tried to get at least one pass and couldn't get it done. But thankful to get it done here in the main event. My whole team, Monster Energy, Arctic Cat, Ram Truck, Bosch Tools, Arctic Wear, Stud Boy, Fly, Speedworks, Fox Shocks, Leat, Hot Stuff Pizza, C-Tech 2, Tech Vest, Kicker, Digital Ink, and CTI. The whole team, it was a pretty rough weekend. This track was really gnarly, hard on the body. I was so thankful to get out front early, and I really felt good once I got clear of a couple guys and just put the hammer down.
That corner we saw right out of the start was collecting guys all night. Talk about your approach to that, because it looked like you found a great line.
I was slow in that corner all night, so my approach was to build a lead so I didn't have to deal with anybody trying to pass me right there. But I tried to get faster all night there and just struggled a little bit. But that's part of racing. I felt really strong on the rest of the track, and just thankful to get the win. Got to thank God for blessing me with this opportunity and get me through this scary weekend.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So the T-Train dominated that one, Mike.
You know what? He found a way out front right from the get-go. Once he was out in front, he wasn't going to be caught. But I'm impressed. Ross Martin on the podium both in round 13, round 14 here in Chicago. Tim Tremblay making the podium both nights. There's the way they end up, 1 through 10.
Let's take a look at the point standings after 14 events.
Hibbert with a pretty substantial lead, 90-plus points. No one, I don't think, is going to be able to catch him. But there are some good battles, 2 through 5. It'll be fun to watch how they finish up when we go to Grand Geneva.
And, of course, you can watch that at the Nielsen Snowcross Grand Finale in Lake Geneva. That's coming up March 18th through the 20th. Cannot wait to wrap up the season at that fantastic event. You want to watch us on CBS Sports Network, of course, but you can watch us live, the Nielsen Enterprises Grand Finale on March 20th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Please tune in. Speaking of tuning in, at Snowcross on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Check us out. We're everywhere. We'd love to hear from you. You can always catch us on the CBS Sports Network as well, and CBSSportsNetwork.com. Thanks for tuning in. For Carly Applin, for Mike Schroeder, for a cast of thousands, my name is Chris Hockey. We'll talk to you again soon. It's Amsoil Championship Snowcross powered by Ram.